Hello, today we are going to design a simple analog clock with hours hand, minutes hand and second hands using only HTML, CSS and JavaScript. It's very simple and interesting project. So let's begin designing it. So before designing anything, we have to first understand how clock works. How the hands of the clock, that is hours hand, minutes hand and second hand, actually rotate, how many degree it rotates. To analyze this, the movement of the hands, let's remove the hands first. So let's take our initial position of all the hands as 12 o'clock. Suppose this is our second hand. Sorry for my bad drawing. This is minute, little thicker, and hours hand. So we have to gradually it will move and rotate clockwise. So we have to basically calculate how many degree it rotates from its initial position. We can generate our time using JavaScript in the format H, M and S. That is, H is hour, M is minute, S is second. So we can calculate the degree of rotation in hours and in H hours, degree of rotation in minutes and in M hours, and degree of rotation in seconds and in S second. So let's analyze the movement of hours hand first. Initially, let's assume the hours hand is at position 12. So after each hour, it moves to the next position, that is next number, and similarly it will move to the initial position after 12 hours. So we can clearly see that in 12 hours it rotates fully, that is 360 degree. So we can calculate what is the rotation in degree in each hour by this relation, that is in 12 hours it covers 360 degree. So in 1 hour it will cover 360 by 12, that is 30 degree. And for H hour will be the given hour, that is the correct hour. It will be time taken in 1 hour, that is 30 degree into H degree. So we can take one example. Suppose H, the value of H is 3. So in our equation put the value of H equals to 3. 30 into 3 equals to 90 degree. So at 3 o'clock our hours hand will be at 90 degree to its initial position. The degree of rotation the hours hand attains, it also affect by the minutes hand position. Let's analyze for 3:30. At 3:30 the minutes hand will be at this position and the hours hand will be at this position. So there are some lateral shift from 3 o'clock to 3:30 in hours hand. So we have to add this to our formula also. So we can see that in each hour, that is 60 minutes, it covers 30 degree of rotation. So in 60 minutes it covers 30 degree. So in 1 minute it will cover 30 by 60, sorry, equals to 1 by 2 degree. So for m minutes is the given minutes, it's the actual time when we are calculating the clock time, will be time taken for, sorry, degree of rotation in 1 minute, that is 1 by 2 degree into m degree. So the final answer will be m by 2 degree, and the total degree of rotation for hours hand will be, for h hours, suppose we are calculating, will be 30 into h plus m by 2 degree. Make it capital H to distinguish the formula between h and m. So the rotation function of hours hand will be h equals to 30 into hours plus minute by 2 degree. Similarly, let's analyze the degree of rotation for minute hand. Let's assume minutes hand at initial position 12. So in 60 minutes, it covers the whole distance, that is 360 degree of rotation. So in 60 minutes, it covers 360 degree of rotation. So in 1 minute, it will cover 360 by 60 degree, that is 6 degree. For m minutes, it will cover 6, that is 6 is the time taken, sorry, degree of rotation for 1 minute. So it will be 6 into m degree. The rotation in minutes hand also affected by the second hand, but it's very negligible, so we can neglect and we can finalize our formula as this. And similarly, let's analyze the rotation in seconds hand. It is quite similar like minutes hand. Suppose the seconds hand it has position this in 60 seconds, it's covered this 360 degree of rotation. So in 60 second, 360 degree of rotation. In 1 second, it will cover 360 by 6, that is 6 degree. So in s second, it will cover 6, that is time taken for, sorry, time rotation in 1 second is 6 degree into s. It's the formula for second hand, that is for s second, it will move 6 into s degree from its initial position. We got the three relations of three hands with respect to the time given. So let's start coding and design a analog clock. So let's start coding. I am using VS Code as my editor. I have created a folder analog and I want to add some files, that is index.html to store the HTML file, another for style.css for storing CSS file, and to store JavaScript file script.js. In index.html, just copy and paste the boilerplate HTML boilerplate. It's by default by symbol. It's shortcut in VS Code. You can write it also if your environment doesn't support it. So our title is analog clock. So make it using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Sorry. Link the CSS file. In our case it's style.css and include the JavaScript file. I am adding in bottom. You can also link it in the head section. Okay, so let's just check our code once. I'm using live server. You can add extension in VS Code. So you can see your result simultaneously as coding. So it's working. Okay. I'm using an image file, that is clock. You can get it, you can download it from anywhere. We can design also using SVG, that is we can add graphics using HTML and CSS, but you are using, in our case, you are using an image. So let's write our HTML element. So we want a clock container. So basically we want a division with id equals to clock container. In that division we want three things, that is our minute, sorry, it's second, to manage our three ends. Okay, that's it for HTML. Let's design our CSS file. So we can split it, split right, you can see both at once. Sorry, did the wrong file. Okay, this is style.css. So we have 4 id elements. So start with parent element, that is clock container. We want position relative. We want width of our container as 50% of viewport height, and similarly height 50% of viewport height. And background as image. Our location of our image is images slash clock.jpg. Let's save it. Okay, it's coming, some part are missing. So our property is background size 100%. So the image will be fit into our web page. Okay, it's working. Then we want some margin photo, it will move to center. And we want to place here, that is some space in top. So let it be top, that is 15 viewport height. We can see that it's responsive as well, because you are using viewport height. We are giving height and width as viewport height. You can inspect and see it, the each element. This is our container element. So let's give some style to other element, that is minute, hour and second hand. In all the three cases we have some similar and common properties. Okay, we are done with parent container. So let's design our ends. So we have our position absolute and background make it black and make it simple. Photo reducer to keep it a curvy shape. Okay, we have not mentioned the breadth and height, so there is nothing to see here. So let's design our hours and keep a width, let 3%, sorry, and height of 30%. Save it. Okay, it's here. So we have to move this hand to here. Our position is absolute, so keep some top 30%, left 50%. It's not in correct position. So make some changes here. 26, 21, 21 is I think okay, and the left 49, no, 8.5. Copy this and paste in our file. It's okay. Okay, let's design our minute hand. To design this, we can hide this as display none. Keep it width little smaller than that, 2.5. Make it 2%. Height, make it 35%. It's our minute hand. Left 48%. Okay, so modify something here. Make it 20. Sorry, this is our talking about minute hand. Top 18, 17, 16, I think it's fine. Left make it 49, no, 48.5. I think it's fine. Top 16% and left 48.5%. And hide the minute hand also. Design second hand. Copy paste this value. and second hand little thinner, make it 1% or 1.5%, height 40%, it's too large, 37. So we are done with HTML and CSS part. You can clearly distinguish between three hands of the clock. The thicker one is hours hand and minute one and second hands. So let's start designing our script, JavaScript part. So in JavaScript part, in a clock, what we are doing, in each second we are getting some movement in second hand, and these small movements make movements in minutes hand and hours hand also. So we are basically repeating the same task again and again. So to manage, we are using set interval function. In set interval, we will declare a function to manage the clock, and we want to repeat it in every 1 second. So this unit is in millisecond, so 1000 millisecond will be 1 second. And in this second, let's create a instance to get the time. So let it be d. It will be equals to new date. New date function will be give the current time in JavaScript. We can see in Chrome developer tool also this console.log. So it's giving the date. So from the date we have to extract hour, minute and second. So to calculate the hour, we are declaring a variable d equals to new date function. So d is instance of our time, so we can extract the hour through d with a function d dot get hours. So it returns our hours. The time right now is 7:32, so it gives us the hour at 7. Similarly, to get minutes, d dot get minutes is 32, and d dot get to extract the second, time in second. So in our function, we must have three value to store the hour, minute and second. So h will be equals to d dot get hours and m to store the minute value, get minutes to store the second value. We can print it to check it's working. If not, it's m. Save it. there is a mistake. So it's giving in each second it's changing its value. The second value is changing, you can clearly see it. So it's working. We got the h value, m value and s value. So let's calculate the rotation in degrees. So it represents it as h rot for hour and rotation. We got the formula h into 30 plus m by 2. For minute hand rotation, we represent m rot, m into 6. Into 6. So we got 3 rotations. Let's check what's the value of the rotations we got. Sorry, console dot. Okay, we are getting the degree of rotation each hands up at time. So let's change the transform property of the CSS of each element. So we have 3 IDs, hour, minute and second. We have to change the CSS property in it. So we have to first find this IDs first. So get document dot get element by ID. First it will keep the position to our end, and we want to change the style, and in style we want to change the transform property equals to rotate how many degree of rotation, that is h rot. You have to mention the degree for the unit and save it. Okay, the hour hand is moving, but it rotating through its middle position. That is, there is a transform origin property, so it moving from its middle position, but we want the rotation from its bottom position. So we will change that value. Let's write this same for minute and second hand. And similar for second hands. We can see that all the hands are rotating but from its middle position. So to fix that, this we have to add transform origin bottom, so it will move from its bottom position. Yeah, it's working. The time is 7:39. It's showing correct time. Okay, we are done with all the functionalities. This part in clock is somewhat looking odd, so we can cover this part. So let's add one division in clock container that make it center. name it as center. Let's add CSS to it. It has also similar property as that of hands and some extra property. Make it 3 viewport height. Okay, it's here. So you have to position at the center to hide these parts. Oh, sorry. Add a border radius 40 to make it circle 50%. Top 46%, left 46%. Make it a little large, make it 5 viewport height, 5 viewport height, 46, 45. I think it's at correct position. Okay, it's finally done. All the parts are functioning correctly. You can adjust maybe its center position little bit to make it more better. Okay, that's all. We have CSS and JavaScript. The source code for all this file will be in description, and the image file also I will add in the description. Okay, thanks for watching.